Hey dudes, this is Suzy Stokey. I played Sandy in The Power, and you are listening to Tommy Throwback Kovac on Splat from the Past. And you know what? Tommy's Catholic. He picks his belly button for Lent.
Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming a very special guest from the world of cult films from the late 80s, early 90s, the direct-to-video era, I might add, Jordana Capra. You may remember her. She was the female alien Exeter in Rick Sloane's The Visitants. She was Vanessa in After Midnight in the segment All Night Operator. She was in Past the Ammo, Hired to Kill, Vice Academy Part 3, and she had a recurring role on the short-lived Mario Van Peebles sitcom Sunny Spoon. And I'm having her on the show today to talk about all that. And I can't wait. It's going to be pretty awesome. I'm just so blessed with all these people I get on the podcast. I'm always blessed. So, here is my interview with Jordana Capra.
Hello?
Hey, Jordana.
Hello, it's Jordana.
Jordana, sorry.
Madonna. That's okay. You know, a dozen times a day I get to say, it's Jordana, like Madonna, and then people remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that too with my last name. They say Kovacs or, Kovac or something, Kovic, and that just drives me crazy.
Sure.
Well, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Thank you very much. I'm very good, thanks. How are you doing?
I am just spectacular. This is such an honor. Thank you for taking the time today.
Well, it is. It's fun. It's not every day you get asked to be part of a podcast, especially one that relishes ridiculous sci-fi and the 80s all at once.
Yeah, and those people are fucking morons.
Thank you.
So, going back in time, did you gravitate toward acting early on?
Well, let me preface my answer by saying I despise the misuse of the word literally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I literally died. No, you didn't literally die. You're standing here talking to me now. So, I have literally been on stage since before I was born.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was an actor, and she was pregnant with me when she was on stage. So it truly has been my life since before I emerged from the womb.
Wow, she was pregnant with you on stage. That's quite an accomplishment.
Yes. I wish I could somehow put it on a resume and have it be like, oh, look at that. People would just think I was, odd. Well, they would be right.
So did you do a lot of school plays and community theater growing up?
Oh, yeah. Mom put me in tap and ballet like all little girls, and I think boys should. From the time I was 3, I was doing performances with my tap and ballet class in Brooklyn, New York. And then, of course, went into doing school plays and indeed community theater, local theater. My mother was also very politically involved. Mm-hmm. In Minneapolis when we moved there when I was 6. And so I did a lot of, telephoning and door knocking, which is its own weird form of theater to get people to listen to you as you hand them information about whatever candidate you're endorsing. My mother even ran for city council at one point, and she knew she was going to be very, very late in the program. And she hired me. I think hired simply means I got an extra $1 in my allowance to march on stage and play Stars and Stripes Forever on a kazoo before she spoke, which at least woke people up, and she did indeed get elected.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And who did you normally play when you were doing theater? Because given the movie roles I've seen you in, I can't imagine you play like Juliet and Romeo and Juliet.
Oh no. I have always been a bitch, pain in the ass, the person in charge, but not the person you want as your boss. Yeah, that's always been my money, which is great. You know, it really has been a fun and great career getting to play the stick-up-the-ass, as I call them, stick-up-the-ass, Christianic Republicanian characters.
I couldn't have said it better. Absolutely.
Thank you. And you know, people like, when I was in my 20s and I started exploring doing television commercials,
Yeah.
I wanted to be the pretty girl, the sexy girl in the beer commercial, and I would audition for those, and I wouldn't even make callbacks, and I was livid. Like, I'm pretty, I'm funny, I'm sexy, I should know. Nobody was looking at me for that. And then a casting director who knew me very well called me in for a compact computer audition, and the character description was an IBM Nazi. So I was really the bad guy. And I'm like, who the hell is that Gordon Holmes to think I'm an IBM Nazi? What the hell is wrong with her? So I go into the audition, and I'm all pissed off, and I do the audition, and I get a call back, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? I'm funny. I'm nice. And then I book it, and I'm like, oh, take a step back and embrace your inner bitch. And from that moment on, as a professional, I have only been booking the professional bitch roles. Judges, doctors, not warm and fuzzy, but, you know, the person in control, the person who tells you what you need to know, whether you want to hear it or not.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
And then, of course, the occasional space alien who's cranky.
Of course, yeah. We're about to get into that. Yeah. I wanted to clarify, you're not related to Frank Capra.
The story that my family has passed down to me, Frank's great-great-grandfather's brother got in trouble with the law in Italy, had to get out of the country or he'd have been thrown in jail, so he stows away on a ship.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't care where the ship is going as long as it docks outside of Italy. He gets off the boat. Nobody's speaking Italian. He wins. He wanders around that part of Europe for a while and ultimately lands in Poland, where he marries a nice Jewish Polish farm girl, a scene that I'm convinced was cut from Fiddler on the Roof. I don't know why. So he starts a line of Jewish Polish Capras that eventually becomes me.
Wow.
So super distantly related.
Super distantly related. Wow.
Yeah.
And you're in good company. I mean, he's one of the greatest filmmakers of all time.
Oh, absolutely. Frank Capra truly and literally changed the face of acting. When he became a working director, you know, it was black and white, it was silent films. People were still wearing makeup as though they were doing theater with bad lighting. Men were wearing bizarre dark lips and dark eyes. And even in movies, you didn't need that kind of ridiculous heavy makeup. And Frank Capra was smart enough to go, yeah, dial that down. Let's make people look like they look in real life. And so he truly changed how actors were shot in movies.
Yes, certainly did. I mean, It's a Wonderful Life, and, you know, It Happened One Night, and, you know, Mr. Deeds Goes to Town. I mean, he's done so many great movies.
Yep. The Goes to Washington movies. Obviously, he's a storyteller above all else. And, you know, you can't go wrong when you hire actors like Jimmy Stewart. That was the worst Jimmy Stewart impersonation ever in the history of impersonations. But, you know, here it is.
Well, I think you did a really good job, Jordana.
Thank you. I think you did a better job.
Thank you. Yeah, I can do anybody. I'm really good at doing impressions.
I would say my only really good impression is probably Katharine Hepburn.
Ooh.
Yeah, she took a little work. I actually had to play her in a play, so I had to learn how to do her. Catherine had that, and she got there was a little of that tremor, but when she was younger, she didn't have that tremor. Oh, you're my knight in shining armor, don't you forget it. So, she became that, but she always had that upper class Connecticut kind of speech pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So even when she was young, she did an amazing film. Well, we're not here to talk about Katharine Hepburn. But yeah, she's the only voice I can even begin to impersonate well, I think.
That's good. You did good with what you just showed me.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So, your first movie was Rick Sloane's The Visitants.
It was indeed. Yep. Wow, what an exciting experience. Bizarre foray into Hollywood. And I can tell you, I booked that job not because of my outstanding acting chops, but because I fit the swimsuit. Rick had this 1950s gold lame, dart for boobs swimsuit that was the top half of Exeter's uniform, her space uniform. And I fit that. So that's really how I got to start my career with Rick Sloane. And he and I are still friends. I mean, we literally were just talking a couple nights ago.
Yeah, I talked to him on the podcast this summer. He's such an interesting guy, and I told him how, I laugh at his morbid movies and that I'm not offended by anything. And he was like, well, then I haven't done my job.
That would be his response, yes.
Yeah. Well, I love the hair that you have in the movie. It reminds me of Bride of Frankenstein.
Yes. Even though it predated The Simpsons, it's a little like pre-Marge, but definitely Bride of Frankenstein, I think, was an influence on Exeter's beehive hairdo.
Yeah. When I watched the movie, I can't help but think that if the movie had been made 10 years before, Mary Warrenoff could have played your part.
Oh my goodness, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, you remind me like you could have been the next Mary Warrenoff.
Thank you. Yeah, she's pretty spectacular. So that is high praise indeed.
Yeah. What was it like working with Nicole Rio?
She is a really fascinating person. I mean, interests outside of just being an actor. A lovely, lovely human being, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's good in things that she's been in. I reached out to her not too long ago. Hope I get to interview her soon.
I hope so. She's just she's a sweetheart. She's one of the rare people that you can truly say is a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm. I've met and interviewed my share on here. You're definitely one of them.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. And then let's see, you did Pass the Ammo.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember.
Pass the Ammo was a lot of fun. I'd been in an acting class with David Beard. He taught the class and wrote and directed Pass the Ammo. So I got my little role as a reporter, which actually started a career of playing reporters. So I am in debt to David Beard for that opportunity.
Yeah, we just lost him not too long ago, and
yeah,
he did a lot of movies that sadly, this generation doesn't even know. Like My Chauffeur is a great movie he did.
Oh, absolutely.
It's sad how people don't remember his work and stuff. But did you get to interact with Tim Curry or Annie Potts?
Annie more than Tim. Although, I have a fascinating story if you want to hear an Annie Potts audition story.
Oh, please.
I used to run camera for different casting directors,
Mm-hmm.
and David knew that, so he hired me to run camera for several of the auditions for Pass the Ammo. And we were seeing some pretty big deal people for Annie Potts' character, the wife of the televangelist. Annie was wasn't a major star name yet.
Mm-hmm.
She walked in to this audition with a little tape player, because back in the day before we had CDs, so she had a cassette tape player with her. And she pulled a chair into the middle of the room, and she said, "Now, honey, do y'all mind if you just tell me when you're rolling, and I want to do a little something, and then we can get on with the audition." Okay, sure, rolling. She presses a button on her tape player, and piano music starts playing, and it was a lovely gospel hymn written by a friend of hers called "Rock Me in Thy Pacific Arms."
Huh.
She sang this gospel song beautifully, simply. You know, it wasn't a big belting number. It was just simple. And when she was done singing, she transitioned right into the dialogue from the first scene. And it so cemented her in that character. You could see God glowing through her skin. It was it was auditioning 101, watching her get to do that work.
Yeah, I heard her singing something once. She does have a lovely voice.
Yeah.
And then you had a recurring role on Stephen J. Cannell's short-lived sitcom Sunny Spoon.
Oh my God, that was first of all, it was an honor to get to be part of a Stephen J. Cannell production. Because he really is, he's smart and he's funny and he's human, and he's one of those people who drives around Hollywood, at least drove around Hollywood, in the back of his giant limousine because he had to get shit done. Like, there were not enough hours in the day to write the shows he wrote and direct them and produce them and interact with everybody he had to interact with. But when he was on set with you, he made you feel like you were the most important person on set that day. He had a remarkable ability to do that. And then Mario Van Peebles, well, you know, first of all, super easy on the eyes. And beyond that, a really good actor. I mean, he was very dedicated to keeping his physical being and his spiritual being healthy so that as an actor he could do whatever he was called on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a genius. And Cannell is a genius. The guy, he had severe dyslexia growing up, and he persevered and became one of the greatest writers in the history of TV.
I did not know he was dyslexic. Yeah, that's amazing. That is amazing. That's a great life lesson for anybody who struggles with any kind of learning or functioning.
Yes, and if you see the leads in all of his shows, they are very flawed, and they always persevere. And he says he used his own story of being dyslexic and persevering for the model for his characters in his shows.
Ah, interesting.
Yes, indeed. That must have felt really great, though, to be on a series and making real money after doing, low budget films where you make very little money.
Yes, it was really great to make grown-up money. It was back in the day when TV shows still paid what they called top of the show. So that was nice.
Yeah,
It just made you feel respected,
Yeah. Were you disappointed when it got canceled?
I was very disappointed. Obviously, the writer's strike hit, and like many other projects, it kind of unraveled and unfortunately never regained its footing after the writer's strike.
Yeah. Oh, God, I've heard so many stories about how crazy that summer was in '88 when the strike happened. And
yeah,
they had to go on location and get out of L.A. to film a lot of stuff and all that.
Yeah, it's true.
Did you do an episode of Hooperman?
I did!
Because
go ahead.
It's listed here on IMDb, but it doesn't say the character you played. Like the character name.
What's her name?
Yeah, so I didn't know if it was real or not.
Yep, that is funny. I don't remember her name. She was the girlfriend of a drug dealer.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the storyline was John Ritter and Felton Perry, his partner on the show, brought me to the morgue to view the dead body of my boyfriend in the hopes of getting me to talk and, spill the beans.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had done a lot of theater, and I knew how to do a stunt fall, which is, for theater, it's not like you're falling off a building. You just have to be able to hit the stage and not hurt yourself. So I knew how to do that.
Yeah.
So at the audition, of course, I did that. She faints. It says in the script, she faints and falls to the ground. Well, of course I fainted and fell to the ground. The producers rushed up to me to help me up to me. Are you okay? Did you hurt yourself? Why did I fall? You wrote the words. She falls to the ground. So I booked that gig, which was great. And then John Ritter and I became, I would say, acquaintances after that. He was a very good guy. They had a spectacular dress on me in the show, and wardrobe did not want to sell me the dress. And so John bought it for me and gave it to me, which was very sweet of him.
What a nice guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice guy. I love hearing stuff like that. Now comes the immortal horror anthology classic, After Midnight.
Ah, yes.
Yes. How did you get that, and how was that experience?
That was, I think I just went through the normal audition process. My manager at the time got me the first call, and I made callbacks. And I think part of the reason I got it is, like I said earlier, I played a lot of newscasters because I have a deep voice and I'm articulate. People have called me an over-enunciator. Fine. And part of that character had to be very clear. She was a telephone, back in the day before we had answering machines, we had telephone answering services, and that was my job. So I think my voice was a big part of my getting to book that, but I also got to meet Marge Helgenberger and Alan Rosenberg on that gig, which, can you imagine if she had hyphenated her name?
Yeah.
Helgenberger Rosenberg? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually Marg Helgenberger, and I remember when she won the Emmy for China Beach, like around that time. Her first thing she says when she gets up there is, "I just want to clarify, my name is Marg, not Marge."
Right?
Yeah.
Marg Helgenberger. Yep.
Yeah. I always thought you looked really hot in that red dress in the movie.
Thank you very much. I thought so as well. In fact, the director came to me when we were going through wardrobe, and he said, "Which of the dresses? What are you feeling? What do you think represents this character the most?" And I said, "Well, it depends. Do you want her to be sweet and innocent and an ultimate victim, or do you want her to be fierce and strong? And when she's taken down, that's more significant." And he went, "Oh, yeah, let's go with the red dress." Yeah, good call.
Yeah, especially since fierce and strong is your specialty on screen.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Wheat Brothers, they only made, this was like their second and last movie. Before that, they did a Hitchcockian thriller called Lies. Before that, it's really mysterious when directors disappear from making movies, especially in the 80s.
Yeah, I was disappointed that the Wheat Brothers didn't go on to do more. Both Jim and Ken were really good, decent people.
Mm-hmm. They were good directors.
And obviously they did good work. So that combination would have been a joy to get to not only work with, but to see the fruits of their labor continue.
Yeah, that would have been something. Then you worked with the notorious Nico Mastorakis on Hired to Kill.
Nico, he's another one I can do an impersonation of. But he's Greek and he has that voice that just is like nails on a chalkboard. But, yeah, Nico was, he was intense. He's an intense fellow.
Yeah. My friend Kelly Maroney worked with him on the Zero Boys and said that he was pretty bad on that movie and stuff.
Yes.
But did you like working with the legends George Kennedy, Jose Ferrer, and Oliver Reed?
Oh my God. George Kennedy, I only had an afternoon with, so I didn't really get a sense of knowing him, although he was a gentleman and, showed up, did his work, didn't get in anybody's way. That was terrific. I do say, I have to say, I had a huge crush on Jose Ferrer. He was a gentleman and charming and articulate and loved to talk about movie history and film theory. And I treasure the evenings I got to speak to him over a glass of wine at a taverna in Greece. Jose Ferrer was amazing. And in sharp contrast, there was Oliver Reed, who was also amazing. It's not flattering to speak ill of the dead, but
Right.
There's some really good stories. So I'll share them, and you can include them or edit them as you choose.
Okay.
Oliver Reed, if you didn't give him an 8 a.m. call time, was drunk by 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
There's just his world. Now, he was well into his 60s when we shot this, and he had a young wife, and when I say young, I mean she was in her early 20s.
Yeah.
But she was a big-boned girl, voluptuous and curvy, and she had a mouth on her. I just loved that gal. Oliver Reed would walk out of his trailer in tiny little red Speedo underpants, and she would say things like, "Hey, Ollie, get back in here. Nobody wants to see that raw." And she actually could run roughshod over him, and he would do what she said, like on a dime. So one evening after shooting, all of us, the cast, are out at a taverna having dinner, and I'm sitting directly across from him this evening.
Mm-hmm.
That day of shooting, we had been shooting a scene where helicopters bring in the good guys and fly out the bad guys, and he started to share a story about when he was in the military service, how one of the things he liked to do to startle the enemy was to pull down his pants and expose himself, which apparently, at least in this story, was a very successful way to disarm the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I to argue I wasn't there? But in this moment, I was directly across the table from him as he stands up and pulls down his pants and pulls out his spectacularly gigantic penis. But what was more astounding than the size of his penis was the fact that he had eagle claws tattooed on the head, which is now about 12 inches from my face. So that was an experience I will never forget.
Oh.
I've often wondered what the tattoo artist thought when Oliver Reed walks in, whips this beast out, and says, "Yeah, eagle claws, right there on the head."
I think that story's a keeper.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure people won't be too surprised. I mean, everyone remembers when he was on Letterman drunk and he threatened him.
Yes. So you're right. I am not letting any cat out of the bag with that.
Yeah. So you've pretty much worked nonstop, right?
Knock on wood, she says, tapping her knuckles to her forehead. I have been very lucky. I've been very busy. Yeah. Between commercials and film and TV and occasional theater, I keep busy.
Mm-hmm. And don't you teach acting?
I have taught acting with a casting director here locally in Los Angeles, and then I was very lucky to be invited to join the Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute family and teach acting there. Yes. Nice.
Do you get a lot more satisfaction from teaching or actually doing acting?
It's a very different kind of satisfaction. It's like, do you enjoy sitting by the ocean and feeling the breeze on your face, or do you enjoy a delicious, sumptuous meal? They're both extremely enjoyable experiences, but completely different. When you're teaching people who are hungry to learn, who are excited, who want to explore the do's and the don'ts and what are the mistakes that you made and how can I avoid them, and what are the triumphs and the joys of this business. When you get to share your experience with people who are excited to learn, that really is, there's nothing like it. And I had actors, I also taught a children's class, so I had actors as young as 5 and 6 years old, and actors that had retired from other industries and were now exploring commercials and things like that, who were in their 70s. So it was all, every actor is different, but every student was exciting.
I'm sure the children love you.
I did have a lot of fun with the kids, and every now and then, like after a school shooting or something like that would be on the minds of the children, I was always very honored when one of the kids would say, "Miss Jordana, what do you think would happen if," and then they would, explore some school shooter scenario, and we would stop talking about acting, because at the end of the day, the acting doesn't matter, but living your life does. And it was always an honor when the kids would listen to me and ask me what my thoughts were about an issue.
That's very interesting. Do you have any upcoming projects that's in the works?
Yes. Wow, it's ironic. I hadn't thought about this. She is an alien who has come to Earth with her husband, and she has lived among the humans as an artist, a painter, an artist. Very different from Exeter in Rick Sloan's The Visitants. This is much more of a story about interpersonal relationships.
Wow. I'll keep an eye out for that when it comes out.
Okay, I will let you know.
Awesome. So there's a game that I like to play with guests, and I don't play it with just any guests. I play it with ones who are fun and open-minded like yourself. And how this game works is these are slumber party questions, and I ask you the question, you answer it, and then you ask me, and I answer it.
Got it. Okay.
The exact same question. Okay. Jordana, are you ticklish?
Yes. So, Tommy, are you ticklish?
I am very ticklish, yes. What is your favorite part of the body?
The neck.
The neck.
Well, it depends on what we're doing. I do think of my vagina as the happiest place on earth. But beyond that, for a simple caress, the neck, absolutely.
Nice. And for me, I have...
Yes, Tommy, what is your favorite part of your body, or anyone else's body, for that matter?
No matter who it is, I have always loved the belly button.
Ah, are you an innie or an outie?
I am a very deep innie.
Me too.
Yeah. Do you ever contemplate your belly button?
Really?
Really?
Do you?
Yes.
I think it might have been in the 80s. There was some visual of people that would drink out of someone's belly button. But that seemed like a lot of work, and why bother? A shot glass is bigger than a belly button, for God's sake.
I just think they're just trying to be politically incorrect. I occasionally still see people do that in bars. Occasionally.
Drink out of someone's belly button?
Yeah, it's usually a Jell-O shot or something.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense.
What color are your toenails painted?
Right now, they are au naturel. The last few months, my husband and I have been renovating renovating our house. And so things like fingernails and toenails and other, mostly fingers and toenails to get abused daily as I'm carrying tile and painting walls and painting lattice and attaching lattice to walls. And they're without color. Are your toenails colored right now?
They're not colored right now, but they were a couple weeks ago. I was in LA, and they were purple with sparkles at the time.
Ooh, now see, sparkles or glitter, I think that's a neutral because glitter goes with everything.
It does. It does, but it takes forever to get rid of. It's just it's
true.
It's confetti,
Yes, very true.
So I do my best to have as little sparkles as possible, but I made an exception for that weekend.
Nice. Oh, always worth, the exception, I think.
Yeah. And then my favorite question, is there a stinky smell that just makes you gag?
Liver.
Ugh. Yeah, that's bad.
Even as a child, when my mother would try to feed me liver baby food, I refused it with every foot, hand possible, push it away. And to this day, I cannot stand the taste or the smell of liver.
Oof.
Ugh.
And
I also wonder why people, I realize it's an inexpensive cut of meat. So what? Why would you eat the poison sponge out of somebody else's body? Seriously, there's no upside to liver.
No, there's not. It's really, really gross. I won't eat liver, I won't eat tripe, and I won't eat lamb. Those are the three I will not eat.
I have never had tripe, although perhaps because it just seems so thoroughly disgusting. I have had lamb, but I can't say that I would choose it on a menu again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just gross. It's so gross. So
texturally, it's bleh.
Yeah. So the stinky smell that I can't stand is...
Yeah. Oh, right, Sam, I'm failing you on my half of this game. What is the stinky smell you can't stand?
Either farts or feet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
I had really bad athlete's foot after I got out of the hospital from my car accident. That was bad.
Yikes. Yeah, that would definitely put one off of the smell of feet.
Yeah. It was pretty bad. Yes. So I have these...
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, you can ask me.
I was going to ask how you came out of your car accident. What was...
Oh, so...
I did not know of your car accident.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you about my car accident before I wrap this up. So, I had a car accident in 2015. It was just a drunken misadventure. I fell asleep in the passenger seat. My driver fell asleep at the wheel. And we got out of the car okay, but then a car collided with ours and the impact hit us. And so I spent 30 days in a coma. I had the worst of the injuries.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy that you survive an accident only to have a secondary impact have the greatest impact in that story?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh, my God. Wow. I am very happy that you are here to tell the tale.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I've told so many people about it, and I'm going to for the rest of my life because it's just it's so amazing, and I try to inspire people with it.
Yes, good.
It's a really
good for you.
It was a really life-altering thing, and I'm just so lucky that I was able to start this podcast and interview people I love from movies and stuff like yourself. It's just it's so profound, But I have two really funny jokes I want to tell you before we wrap this up.
Okay.
Everybody knows about the old nursery rhyme. There was an old lady who lived in a shoe. She had so many kids she didn't know what to do. What did her right leg say to her left leg?
Why doesn't your sock match mine?
No, nothing. They never met.
Okay,
Thank you. Um, why do men like to marry virgins?
Nothing to compare their lack of skill to?
Because
I realize it's not like a punchline answer.
you're close. Because they can't stand criticism. Well,
A
Jordana.
girlfriend of mine asked me if I'd ever thought about taking a young lover, like, 20.
Yeah.
And no, I had not thought of taking a young lover. But after considering it for a moment, I'm like, but you'd have to teach him everything. I mean, that's exhausting. I chose my husband because he's the best lover I've ever had.
Oh,
So,
that's
yeah,
wonderful.
so you bring your skill set to the party or you're not getting a call back.
That's wonderful. To have a husband with fuck skills, that is awesome.
Yes, it is.
I always say the three best things that a husband needs to have is he has to be cute, he has to treat you right, and he has to be able to find your G spot.
Yes, I would agree. In fact, let me expand on that.
Okay.
This is a thought that some girls friends and I have shared. Every woman deserves a man who will cook beautiful meals for her. She deserves a man who will repair and clean her house. She deserves a man who earns a wonderful income. And she deserves a man who is an amazing lover. And under no circumstances should those four men ever meet.
That's a great way of looking at it.
Thank you. I thought you might appreciate the humor in that one.
I do. I like it. Well, Jordana, I've had so much fun talking to you, and I just appreciate you taking the time today. And this was just so wonderful and a lot of fun.
Well, I've enjoyed it immensely. I had no idea what to expect, but this is great fun.
Oh, thank you so much. And you have yourself a great day, and I will look out for that movie you were telling me about.
Thank you. It's as of yet untitled, so I can't even give you a title to look for, but I will contact you with details once they are available.
Awesome, and maybe you can come back on and we can talk about it more.
That would be groovy.
Awesome. Well, you have yourself a great rest of your day and have a great night.
Thanks, you too, Tommy.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it. Jordana Capra. Funny lady, sweet lady, fucking awesome. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a friend on Facebook, join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes.